Macmillan Audio presents Model Minority by Cory Doctorow. Read for you by Mirron Willis. The American Eagle was just crossing Interstate 278 when he heard the sharp crack of a baton rapping on a car window. Then the voice, loud, commanding, a cop voice, full of rage. North of I-278, the Mason-Dixon line that separated white Staten Island from black Staten Island. Open the fucking window. Even with his superhuman hearing, he couldn't tell exactly where the voice had come from. Not until the rapping came again. 3 more nightstick bangs, then the sound of a car windshield shattering. He got a bead on the sound, tuned in to the sounds of the scuffle, and tilted his body towards it, spilling altitude and cutting a swath through the drizzle, which fan-tailed behind him in his turbulent wake. With his arms out before him, his cape crackling behind him, he was a blue and red missile arrowing down and towards the sound. The man on the ground was black. The 4 cops around him were white. The black man on the ground was slender, mid-30s, with close-cropped hair and a small, neat mustache. His car was as neat as the mustache, shining even in this damp, gray day. An older car, but one that was well looked after. The man was on the ground, and above his smart little mustache, his face was bleeding. There were little cubes of safety glass embedded in it, but also a bruise on his high cheekbone, the shape of the tip of a nightstick. The 4 cops around the black man on the ground had their nightsticks out. They were hitting him. They'd be hitting him harder, but he'd been dragged out of his parked car and into the narrow space between it and the next car, and they were getting in each other's way. A baton landed on his head with a crack that the American Eagle felt deep in the small alien bones of his inner ear. He winced and adjusted his angle to make a more direct, faster approach to the scene. The cars made the black man's body hard for the cops to reach with their batons, but his legs protruded into the parking lot where 2 of the cops could swing on him at once. They went at it like men driving in fence posts, big overhand swings that were aimed for the bones, the joints. The man on the ground moaned and cried out, while the 4 officers shouted. They shouted, "Stop resisting!" And every 2 or 3 blows broke off from the beating to pan around with their body cams, catching each other, shouting, "Stop resisting!" as they swung and swung. The American Eagle swooped over their heads, close enough that his tailwind pulled their hats askew, while he caught 2 of the batons in his 2 hands, yanking them clear so forcefully that one of the cops fell on his face. The other one caught his balance just as the American Eagle settled to the ground. None of the cops were hitting the black man anymore. They were looking at him. All of them. Even the black man, who had blood streaming out of his nose and a scalp wound. "What?" the cop who had hit the man in the head said. "Motherfucker had drugs on the center console in plain sight. Wouldn't open his window, obstructing government administration." The American Eagle peered inside the cop, saw his blood pressure, took the measure of his pulse. The man's eye twitched, his gaze roved over the American Eagle, then his baton twitched, all too fast for a human eye to follow. The American Eagle didn't say a word, watched in silence. He was hovering, soles of his boots just a few inches off the wet parking lot pavement. It was intimidating to face down someone who could hover. The cop wilted. "Cuff him," he said. "Hey, officers, the cuffs on my ankles, they're too tight," the black man said. "I can't feel my left foot. Something's wrong." He had no cuffs on his ankles, but his left foot and ankle were visibly broken, bent at a sickening angle by multiple blows from the 2 batons. The cop who'd said cuff him radioed for an ambulance. The black man said, "Did anyone get a video of this? I'm going to sue you all the way to hell." The cuff him cop, a sergeant, name tag Bianchi.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?